Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're digging into something really practical for anyone working or thinking about working in Southeast Asia specifically, co-working spaces in Ho Chi Minh City.
That's right. Finding the right place to work is, well, it's vital, especially if you're a freelancer or maybe running a startup or even a bigger company exploring Vietnam.
And our guide for this comes from moveinstay.com. They've been helping expats and businesses navigate Asia for, over 25 years? So they've got some serious insight.
Exactly. They really understand the landscape. So think of this chat as us pulling out the key info from their experience, helping you understand what's available in Ho Chi Minh City.
Right. What you need to know to make a good choice. Because co-working, it's exploded, hasn't it?
It really has. It's way more than just, a desk and some Wi-Fi these days.
It's about community, right?
Yeah.
Productivity, creativity, all that stuff.
Precisely. But there are so many options out there. It can be a bit much if you don't know what you're looking for.
Okay, so let's break it down. For someone maybe new to the idea, what is a co-working space, fundamentally, in the Ho Chi Minh City context?
Well, at its core, it's a shared office. Simple as that. But the big appeal, particularly in HCMC, is how cost-effective it is compared to, say, signing a long lease on a traditional office.
Ah, okay. So it's cheaper.
Generally, yes, especially for startups or small teams. Getting a professional space without that huge upfront investment, that's massive. MoveandStay.com really points this out, how flexible solutions have become key in the region.
Right, avoids the big deposit, the fit-out costs.
Exactly. So cost is one thing. What else makes them so popular?
Well, flexibility is huge, isn't it? You're not locked in.
Definitely. You can get a hot desk for just a few days, or maybe a dedicated desk if you need consistency, or even a private office as you grow. There are options.
And the networking piece, is that real?
Oh, absolutely. You're literally surrounded by people from all sorts of different fields that can spark collaborations, you share knowledge, maybe find your next client.
Interesting, like accidental opportunities.
You'd be surprised. MoveandStay.com has seen so many businesses benefit from that kind of interaction over the years. Plus, you get all the practical stuff. Good internet, printers, meeting rooms.
Without the headache of managing it yourself.
Right. And honestly, just being in a professional environment, that buzz, it can really help you focus and feel motivated.
So it's less like just renting a desk and more like joining an ecosystem.
Okay.
Now, MoveandStay.com mentioned different types of spaces. Can you quickly walk us through those?
Sure. So first, you've got your general co-working spaces, open to pretty much anyone, mix of desk types, good starting point for freelancers, small businesses.
Okay, the all-rounders.
Then there are industry-specific ones. Think tech hubs or spaces for creatives, maybe even healthcare folks. They often have specialized gear or events tailored to that sector.
Right, so you're instantly plugged into a relevant network. What else?
Enterprise co-working. This is geared towards larger companies. They might take several private offices within a shared facility. Gives them flexibility, but also privacy.
A good option for companies testing the Vietnamese market, perhaps, like MoveInStay.com often assists with.
Exactly. It's a smart strategic move. And finally, you get hybrid spaces, which kind of mix and match elements from the others.
Yeah.
Very adaptable.
Okay, got it. So let's picture walking into one of these places in HCMC. What are the key features, the amenities you can generally expect?
Well, the absolute must-haves are reliable, high-speed Wi-Fi that's non-negotiable. Printing and scanning facilities are usually standard. Meeting rooms you can book.
And coffee. Please tell me there's coffee.
Oh, definitely coffee. And tea, usually a kitchen area. Often breakout spaces, too, for like casual chats or just getting away from your desk.
And some go further?
Yeah, some might have an actual cafe on site or maybe relaxation areas, quiet zones, that kind of thing.
You keep mentioning community. How do these spaces actually, build that community in HCMC?
A lot of them actively organize things. Workshops, talks by industry people, social events, Friday drinks, that sort of stuff.
Ah, so it's curated interaction.
In a way, yes. It creates chances to connect beyond just bumping into someone at the printer. And honestly, just being around other motivated people, different perspectives,
Yeah.
It's inspiring. You never know where a chat might lead.
Okay, practicalities again.
Yeah.
Membership and cost. What's the deal with flexibility there?
That flexibility is really central.
Yeah.
So you usually have different tiers. Hot disking grab any free seat might be, say, 2 to 4 million Vietnamese dong a month, give or take.
Okay.
A dedicated desk, so it's your spot, maybe 3 to 6 million VND.
Right.
And private offices, well, those start around 7 million VND and go up depending on size and location.
You can scale up or down fairly easily.
Exactly. No long, scary leases. That's the beauty of it, especially when you're starting out or your needs are changing.
Location, location, location. MoveAndStay.com highlights a few key areas. Let's start with the big one, District 1. Why is it such a hotspot?
District 1 is, well, it's the heart of the city, the CBD. So you find a huge range of co-working spaces there, everything from super slick corporate ones to more budget options.
How convenient.
Massive. You're right near everything. Restaurants, cafes, shops, transport. It is generally pricier, but for many, that central buzz and accessibility is worth it. Good for established businesses, too.
Okay. Then there's Thowdene over in District 2. Sounds quite different.
Totally different vibe. Thowdene is more residential, quite relaxed, lots of expats live there.
Does the spaces reflect that?
Yeah, often a more laid-back community feel. You might find places with nice outdoor areas, maybe cool cafes attached. It's generally a bit more creative, maybe less formal, and usually cheaper than D1.
A bit more personality, perhaps?
Definitely. Trendy, you could say.
And MoveAndStay.com also mentions some emerging districts, like Bin Phan or District 7.
Right. These areas are developing fast, so you can often find better deals on co-working spaces there.
What's the trade-off?
Well, they might not have quite the same polish or established feel as D1, but you get a more, maybe, authentic local experience, a real mix of people, local startups, international folks. Good if you're on a tighter budget or want to be part of something that's growing.
More of a grassroots community feel.
Potentially, yeah. A strong sense of local connection.
Okay, let's name some names. MoveAndStay.com mentions Geek Hub. What's their story?
Geek Hub is pretty well known, especially popular with tech people and creatives.
Makes sense from the name.
Yeah. They're known for having a modern design and really focusing on building that community. Lots of workshops, networking events, a good collaborative buzz.
And the Hive. They seem to be everywhere.
They are a bigger player, yeah. Multiple locations around the city, and each one tends to have its own sort of character. They cater to a really broad range, from freelancers right up to established teams.
And apparently, good coffee.
Ah. Yes, MoveAndStay.com notes the coffee is consistently good. Always a plus.
Definitely. And what about Comspace?
Comspace leans more towards a relaxed, creative environment. They sometimes have cool features like specific breakout zones, maybe even nap rooms.
Nap rooms. Seriously.
Yeah, reflects that modern approach. They also do good community events and are usually well located. A solid choice if you want that contemporary feel.
It really sounds like finding the right fit is super personal. Depends on your work style, what vibe you want.
Absolutely. Location, amenities, community. You got to weigh it all up.
So let's zoom out again. Why specifically Ho Chi Minh City for co-working? What makes it compelling based on MoveAndStay.com's view?
I think it's that sweet spot. You get the cost effectiveness compared to many other major cities, plus access to this incredibly vibrant, energetic business scene.
So value for money, basically.
Big time. You avoid those huge upfront costs of a traditional office, pay for what you need. You get the resources, internet, meeting rooms, printers without managing them.
And the culture.
The work culture in these spaces is often really dynamic. You're surrounded by diverse professionals, lots of energy, great for networking, finding collaborators, just getting inspired. It's a really attractive package for freelancers, startups, even bigger businesses expanding into Vietnam.
Okay, someone's listening. They're thinking, right, I need to check this out. What are the essential tips for choosing the right space for them?
First step, honestly, look inwards. Assess your needs. Seriously. What's your realistic monthly budget?
Right.
What amenities are non-negotiable? Do you need 24/7 access, constant printing, lots of meeting rooms?
Location too, presumably.
Crucial. How close is it to home, to clients? How easy is the commute? And think about your work style. Do you need quiet focus or do you thrive on buzz? Maybe you actually need a private office.
Being honest with yourself about what you really need.
Exactly. That helps narrow it down massively.
Okay, so you've got a short list based on needs. What next?
Visit. In person. You absolutely have to visit. Online photos can look amazing, but you need to feel the vibe.
What should you look for during a visit?
Check the actual atmosphere. Is it too loud, too quiet? Test the Wi-Fi. Ask them to let you run a speed test. Can you actually picture yourself spending hours there?
Good point.
Talk to the staff. Ask about the community manager, what kind of events they run. If you can, chat with a few members. Get their honest take.
Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Definitely not. And notice the little things, lighting, temperature, the chair is comfortable. Ergonomics matter. Maybe even try a free trial day if they offer it, or attend an event to see what the community is really like.
Okay, found a place, feels good. What's the final hurdle before committing?
The membership agreement. Read. The what? Fine. Print. Seriously.
What should you look out for?
What's actually included in the price? Are meeting rooms extra? Printing limits? What's the cancellation policy? Any sneaky fees?
Flexibility versus long-term.
Understand the difference. Does a month-to-month suit you, or is a 6-month or year-long contract better value if you're sure? Pick a plan that fits now, but also ask about options to upgrade or downgrade later if your needs change.
And trial periods.
Always ask about trial days or weeks. It's the best way to be sure before you lock yourself in. Understanding those terms avoids hassle and unexpected costs down the line.
Makes sense. Looking forward now, what's the future look like for co-working in HCMC? Any trends moveandstay.com sees in the Asian market generally?
Yeah, a few things. We'll likely see more niche spaces popping up, tailored for specific industries, like we mentioned, maybe with even more specialized equipment or resources.
More specialization.
Exactly, and that demand for flexible memberships, that's only going to increase. Plus, an even bigger focus on community building, more curated events, workshops, social stuff.
Technology play a role.
For sure. Expect more smart tech for booking rooms, managing access, maybe even environmental controls, and definitely a growing emphasis on sustainability.
Green co-working spaces.
Yes, eco-friendly design, sustainable materials, energy efficiency, that's becoming a bigger draw.
And how does the whole remote work boom feed into this in HCMC?
It's massively fueled the growth, and that won't stop. Hybrid models are becoming the norm for so many companies.
So people need places to work that aren't home, but maybe aren't the main HQ either.
Precisely. So co-working spaces are adapting, offering everything from single desks for a day to long-term private offices for distributed teams. And you're seeing more spaces pop up outside the absolute center, closer to where people live, work near home options. It's a really interesting shift happening in Vietnam.
You mentioned sustainability just now. How significant is that becoming for co-working here?
It's definitely gaining traction. Both businesses and individuals are becoming more environmentally conscious.
So they're demanding greener options.
They are. People want alternatives to traditional, maybe less efficient office buildings. So spaces are responding with, energy-saving lights, better HVAC, recycling programs using sustainable furniture.
And that appeals to members.
Absolutely. It attracts people who care about that stuff, and frankly, it often makes for a healthier, more pleasant place to work anyway.
Well, this has been incredibly insightful, a real deep dive into Ho Chi Minh City's co-working scene, thanks to the perspective from moveandstay.com. It's clear there's a huge amount of choice.
There really is. From solo operators to big teams, there's likely a space that fits. The mix of affordability, resources, and that community buzz is pretty unique here.
So if you're looking for a workspace in Ho Chi Minh City, remember to think about your budget, what you actually need day to day, where you need to be, and what kind of atmosphere helps you do your best work.
Definitely. And that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. As work keeps changing, becoming more flexible, more remote, how will that continue to reshape the whole idea of the traditional office, especially in dynamic, fast-growing cities like Ho Chi Minh City? Something to ponder.